Welcome Zombie Slayer to another day here in Naviskane, and we're going to do another base build video, which is going to be slightly different. It's not going to be a full base, it's more going to be, I guess, something inspired a little bit of what I did previously with my underground parking garage, where I sort of had these hatches that made the zombies path through sort of a maze, and some tricks that I saw picked up by Oceanus was doing a little bit with a slippery slope. I saw something by Cyrus that was using them as well. And I wanted to see how can I make, oh, there's a rabbit over there. How can I make a corridor that the zombies will pass through, but that gives you a lot of time to kill them, but also allows you to have a lot of traps. Something that is really effective and still fun. So that is what we're going to start with doing here. And so, standard up, we're going to bring this a little bit up a few blocks because we obviously want to be up on some poles. And we're going to have it... I don't need to have it really that super high, so it's gonna be actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 something. Let's start with 8 wide. We are gonna have a ramp up. It's gonna be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. So it's not going to be extremely wide, but I think 6 is a pretty good one because it does allow you to put a lot of traps on the sides. You can put in your dart traps, you can put in your electric fences, you can put in your tripwires, which obviously helps save ammunition, but it also allows you to fit in, I think that's good, it allows you to fit in your arrow slits so that you don't have them all being, well, taken out by zombie explosions and stuff like that, which is fairly important. But I think this is going to be a really interesting base entry, and of course you can use that in any type of base that you have. I'm just giving you the concept that you can take and run with. So do make sure you are subscribed to my channel and ring that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter as well. So we're going to make this, let's see, let's start with 10 long. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We might do it a little bit longer later on, but we need to start with something. So we're going to build it all out. I'm going to make a nice platform here. And I decided immediately I'm going to make it even wider because I couldn't really fit in things that I wanted. So on the side here, we are going to have a wall here. I am not entirely sure exactly where I will put it. Well, I know I'm going to put it here. That's not what I meant. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put the arrow slits because I want to put the arrow slits somewhere, well, here, because the shape is going to be, and let me find these ones. I'm going to use these ones, and the reason I use these ones is because that really helps to slow down the zombies, because they sort of like to path over them, but they can't because, well, obviously they're not pathable because they're too slippery unless they're running. And if they do run, that's alright, they just get over. So, oh, missed it. Like this. And it's a slippery slope thing that I've showed before. So they will be running up here, but they'll slow down and maybe make it up. Maybe, not entirely sure. But it means that they will end up here and they will be clustering here. So we're going to put the first layer of, well, first arrow slit here. And we're going to close off the sides like this. Okay, which means that they all have to come through here. It's going to be a little bit of a bottleneck. They might beat on a little bit on this one, but they might also just be trying to get up here and failing. And if they get past there, well, they'll be hitting this one. So this is another layer, and we are probably going to try to have basically dual layers here of arrow slits, so we can have dart traps behind both of them. I'm not sure whether it's going to be needed necessarily, but at least we'll make the provision, because if there's a lot of zombies, there might be a lot of them clustering here. And we're going to do the same thing here, and you can obviously see the pattern. The pattern is to try to make them zigzag, and if they're zigzagging here, I wonder if I could have pushed it closer. I possibly could have pushed it closer so that it's, and I'm gonna try that the next layer. So the reason I put 2 here is because in case they run up here, I don't want them to be able to immediately just step on top of the next one, which I'm afraid might happen if I have them too close. So let me just build up a little bit more, give myself some more space here, and we'll see. And let's do that here. Well, that looks... What? Okay, it's just the shadows and everything. It made it look like this one pointed this way and this one's pointed this way, but it's not. It's just things are just a little bit off because I put it in the wrong position. Anyway, it just the shadows and everything just tricked me. Made everything look very, very weird and lopsided. So let's do this. Let's use the random decorative whatever thingy. Just makes it faster, and unfortunately it fell down, which also happens sometimes. Whatever, I think the SI doesn't always catch up. Anyway, this should be good enough. Let me bring that out here as well. Okay, so for the last bit, let's just try if we put that right behind, because that would actually save us just a little bit of... Oh, hello. Okay, so he's going to be coming here. That's fine. At least he'll be shown... Oh, I have a wandering horde. Oh, that's very kind of them to drop in. See, oh, sometimes you don't even have to call to order them. See, yeah, they walk here and they're trying to jump up. That's fine. And then they path here. Okay, so they are taking this path. That's all right. Okay, what about now? Right, and then this one, obviously they can. That's fine. And what if I do here? And let's... I think they're beating below. That's not very nice of them. Oh. Oh. Hey, friend. Right, they're making a lot of noise here, at least. Okay, okay. Stop breaking things. Stop it. Stop it. Come on. Come on. Nonsense. Oh, no. They've already started beating on it. Which is probably because I'm flying. Probably, I say. It could also be because everything is not going to work. But, you know, we'll see that when things heat up a little bit. And we're going to put another layer here. Like this. It's the sad thing is that I haven't even completed building this and it already has been damaged. That is so sad. So, like this. And let's make this the last one. Obviously, you could make it longer, I suspect, without having any issues. But I think this would be enough sort of to show off the concept and sort of see how does it work and sort of do you need to have it too wide in order to prevent the zombies from just running straight across, because I'm actually not sure. Oh, no more ladies. Okay, that's fine. So this is going to be a bit of the platform that I will be able to stand on. Okay, let's do this so that they will path in. I think that, yeah, they're slowly walking in the correct way. So this is going to be the path itself. And let me take some more of these blocks. So I'm going to build up a little bit of a way for them to... Are they coming here? Because I need to get up a little bit. If I don't get up a little bit, it's going to be really hard to shoot them if I want to do that manually. So that's why I'm building up a little bit of a platform here so they can actually come up to the same height as I will be, because otherwise they will get very frustrated. And I think this is getting to be better. Maybe, you know, like all the zombie pathing. If you're accessible, like you can see I am now, they will all be following this path and then they'll be walking up here. And then... she'll be jumping. Okay, fine. I might have to... This one might be weak point. Ah, that's alright. So, is this good enough? I think it might be good enough. I mean, it's not perfect. What if I do it one higher? Not better. Yeah, this is better. This is definitely better. I guess sometimes higher is better. Let's see, there she comes. And there she goes. And let's do this. And let's do this. Oh, so now we have a nice platform. Only downside is that... Oh, crap. I will have to make this slightly different because... like this. Otherwise, I don't have any space to make any walls. And if I have no walls, I'll just get... well, shot at by all the cops, which of course we don't want to. So if we do something like this, that'll probably do it, and at least we can have a small cubby hole here that we can hide in. Let's do like this, just something to keep us a little bit safer. And like this, I am gonna do something to block up the vision from the sides as well, but this sort of just gives the view of it. So we have like this. And we can probably do this as well, again, just to close it off. This, we want to give them a way in. We don't want to give other people a vision to where we are. Okay, so like this. Oh, okay, I can jump up. So here we have a pretty good one, which means that if they're coming here, I should be able to headshot them as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put down a nice little generator bank, and we're going to pump it full of fuel and engines, and we're going to do like this and turn on. So I'm going to show a couple of these and how it's set up. They're all going to be identical. Let me take out. Don't build up these ones first before you place things down, because it can make it a little bit difficult. So we're going to do this, and do we need that? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like this is fine. The first thing we're going to do is make sure we place down the dart trap. Behind the dart trap, we're going to have tripwire. Behind that is where we have... Ooh, this is where I wish I was a little bit... Okay, this is where I might have caused myself a little bit of a problem. Simply because... Okay, so these one are a little bit exposed. I should have built this a little bit higher so I could hide it a little bit better. It'll work. I mean, it should work until there's any explosion or something. So, yeah, take that into account as well. You might want to build a little bit higher than I did. But let's do that. And the same thing here. We're going to have this one. We're going to have... Let's put this one and like that. You need to have the electric fence this way. And the way to hook it up is fairly simple. But let me get a switch. And let's do, there we go. Let's have a switch here. So I hook up the switch obviously to the generator bank, just so you can turn things on and off. And now this one goes to this tripwire. This is tripwire A. Again, it's the very standard, but people sometimes have an issue with connecting it because of the distance. When you do this, remember the max distance is 15. And depending on how you stand, you should be able to see everything at this distance, because you have 6 in the middle, plus 2 of this one is 8, 10, 12, 14. So it is within the 15 distance. So this is tripwire 2. This one goes to the electric fence 2, that then goes across. And because this one is a little bit higher, it's actually easier to hit it. Also, you want to connect, and this is where I'm going to put in my second dart trap, like this. You want to connect this tripwire. Again, it has to be this one. The second tripwire should go to the dart trap, and to both dart traps if you want to have both of them fire. I normally also start to take the power from this one over to the bottom one, and from the bottom one to the top one. Again, that's a preference. You can run that slightly differently. I do that because it just means it's fairly easy to see how you connected it. You know it's going across nicely here. And this is actually completed. Now, if I put in some darts, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a lot of them. Then you go in, you load it up. Lock ammo, make sure you lock ammo. I'm gonna lock it up again here. Both sides. And 1, 2, 3. Like that, and 1, 2, 3, like that. Now, if everything is working correctly, which I think it is, we should see zombies being fried. And let's do both. Hello. Alright, he's gonna come here. He is gonna come up here, and it's gonna be. Oh, woo! In the nick of time. He actually seemed to have taken that in the head. It must have been, because he died with one shot. Whew, which is probably good. So let's do that. Let's close off that as well. Let's try another one just to be clear. Let's do a... See if she can hear me when I jump. Nope. If I shoot... Okay. So she tries to go here and comes here and bam, 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 and dead. So she gets stunned by the electric fence here, and she takes a lot of the damage. No, really nice. And I'm going to be hooking everything up the same way. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. This ones I have double, which is just because I wanted to see whether you need 2 wide or whether 1 is enough. I suspect that... Actually, I don't know. I don't know what I suspect. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So we're going to have a lot of dart traps on the side. I don't think they'll get all the way in here, because they probably will be dying fairly somewhere here, but the electric fences will be degrading during the night, especially if it's a long horde night and there's a lot of radiated zombies. So that means they won't be slowed down. They'll still take the dart damage. So that means they might be slowly inching their way over a long horde. But let me just build all this up. And we're putting the finishing touches here on loading up the dart traps. Lock ammo, and I think that's it. I really think that's it. So let me get a couple of weapons ready here. Everything is on. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna do this. I am going to spawn in just well, a bunch of zombies here just to make sure everything is working. We'll see how they make their way here. So let's start with, let's get a bunch of cheerleaders. We should have had them look at me, but alright. Alright, so they hear me and they'll be coming up here, and let me change to this one. Obviously they are actually Molotov. That seems like a good place. Pipe bomb probably too. Let's do, oh, that was a bunch of them and they didn't make it through. Okay, that went even better than expected. Let's do this. Where's my repair gun? Okay, nail gun. So, yeah, they all just died. Oh, we need to, okay. Something to make sure, you want to make sure they can't get up here. Otherwise, they'll just run all this way, which is not what we want. They do seem to prefer to go here, though. Any damage here? I think that might have been before. Nothing here. This might have also been before. Yeah. And some people, let me just highlight this as well. Some people always feel that, hey, dart traps that shoot at other dart traps or blocks will damage them. But no, you'll see these ones are all shooting across. And of course, the arrow slit is not taking damage because it's shooting in the middle. And the next dart trap on the other side is not taking damage either. So, no, dart traps do not deal block damage, only entity damage. It's been like that for a long time. Let's do some more. Let's do 25. Let's have the cheerleaders feral here, and let's get him in here. I don't think I necessarily need this. Okay, so they run in here. You can. Oh, this makes for really good Molotov space. I don't think there'll be enough to. Oh, let's throw this one down there. Oh, okay, 9,000 experience. Not bad. Oh, she survived. You will see. Okay, last attack. You will see some degradation on these ones over the length of, let's see, I can get some parts, and then you just repair them afterwards, which obviously I can't do very well right now. This one is all right. So this looks really, really good. It didn't seem to be any issue. I think this is for my pipe bomb that does 5 damage to the blocks around. Of course, some distance means it's going to be less. That's all right. This is all steel. These ones are all reinforced concrete, which should be enough. I like to make these ones steel just to make sure that if they want to break something, they'll break things here and not on the side. It is really exposed though, so I am going to expand this a little bit and make sure I have some walls around just to make sure these ones don't get puked on, because that would be a problem. And so let me do that and we'll be back. And here we have it. I have built up the walls. I have repainted. I made it look nice. Okay, I haven't quite repaired everything. So we have the entrance here, where this is just a little bit of damage. Not a big deal. And the zombies will come in there. Obviously, I've turned everything off because otherwise we would die as well. All these electric fences, tripwires, and dart traps will be slaughtering them as they make. Why is that? Oh, okay, it's the shadows. Sorry, I wonder, why is there a wet spot there? Anyway, so they'll make their way here, hopefully. Well, hopefully not. And then they'll want to come up here, and this is where I'm going to be standing. I have put some hatches here, so I can stand here and just be shooting or throwing Molotovs and stuff like that. I have my generator and stuff like that. I have a nice view of the lake as well. And if I want to go and repair things, I can come out back here. I can access everything. And I put obviously bulletproof glass so I can see what's happening around, but I'll be safe from cop vomit as well. And the same thing on this side as well. You have a nice view of everything while also being able to repair, because it'll be the electric fences that will be taking some damage. But otherwise we'll be standing back here, which is probably a good place not to melee, but to be standing and just shooting. And of course, if you want to, you'll be throwing your Molotovs, and I think that'll be working fairly well. If I throw it slightly higher, maybe something like this. Yeah, something like that. So it actually takes all the zombies that will be congregating here in the front. And we'll be getting the Horde here, and I put 24 concurrent zombies at a very high game stage of I think 525, and it actually started raining right as this happened. Okay, so we see the zombies coming in from over there, from over here, and this is what I expect to happen. They will try to path in here. Actually, they're not even trying to get across. Interesting. Not that it would really matter if they did. Because they can't really walk here, and they won't really bash them because they would try to walk. Are they gonna try? No. My concern is that they will try to bash their way in on the side, but no, that's not even happening. They're obediently standing and waiting, sort of one by one here. Actually, this is surprisingly effective. I probably want to try this with 64 concurrent, but let's have this run just for a moment here. So obviously it is very safe so far. It is rainy and wet, so I'm glad I'm standing. I'm actually in here. Can I come in here? Yes, I am in here. So all the zombies are dying here. They're taking so much damage from the dart traps that is not even funny. They are being stunned. The dart traps are going to be getting degraded. Let's see here. If I do this, I should be seeing some degradation. Actually, not too bad. This one is slowly going down. And see if I can go back into my character here. And this is obviously where you could be standing and throwing your... Oh, and of course my lights is a little bit in the way here, but I could be standing here throwing my grenades. Works really well. I can throw my Molotovs. Ooh, burn them out. If I wanted to, I could also stand and shoot here, but you do have a good view of everything that comes up here. Maybe I should actually, when I do 64, I'm gonna block off the view over here as well, so that they only see me when they come here, because that would work even better. Yeah, this looks like it's even overkill. They're not even coming this far. So, since this is working so well, let me reset this and let me just pump in 64 concurrent zombies, and we'll see how that goes, because that should be a lot more pressure from these zombies. Oh, we finally made it away here. Yay! Oh, this is going to be fun. 64 concurrent zombies, and... Oh, there they are. They're spawning, and as you can see, I made some slight changes here. Oh, and I made some slight changes, and I didn't even... Okay, whoa. Okay, no, pretend you didn't see that. Pretend that didn't happen. I forgot to turn on the power, which obviously makes that a little bit... Yeah, okay, that didn't happen. So, I made a little bit of the changes. I blocked off this entirely, so I don't have vision. Oh. Alright, so a zombie blew up. Oh, I guess that's gonna happen. Anyway, so I blocked off so the zombies will not spit at me, and I just brought a pillar up here and made this one slightly smaller, so that just avoid cough vomiting. I wonder what's gonna happen. The concern here is that just like happened there, a zombie cop might make it in, take a lot of damage but not enough to die, and he will explode, which will deal some damage to the walls here. It's unlikely to be fatal because you know, it's, you see, right, he does like a couple of hundred damage maybe when he explodes there. It's a little bit annoying. I guess you could make this one if I wanted to, if I do this, okay, like this. Okay, so let's make it slightly thicker so that they have more space to get in, because then they'll be spread out a little bit. I think that probably works a little bit better. Yeah, I suspect that's a better way of doing it. Making it too narrow there with 64 concurrent doesn't work. 24 was no issue, but 64, there's just so many zombies coming. And let me just pull back just a little bit. You can see that they are making their way in, and there's a lot of them coming in. Of course, they will be continually spawning, as you can see over there. It's a little bit dark. Let me bump up the gamma here just a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Like this. See all the zombies coming in, and they're all dying there at the entrance. There's a lot of loot there. There is no good way of looting, unfortunately. And that is one of the downsides, because with so many concurrent zombies, as you can see, there's going to be so many loot bags here. I mean, it's not even funny. I'm just like, already it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like almost 10 loot bags. And yes, okay, so let's see. How is our... These ones have taken a little bit of beating. This one especially, because it's at the front. It's not fatal, because even if it degrades, the tripwires will still be firing the darts. It just will not stun them, so they will be running in further. But again, you have quite a lot of distance here. Let me see if I can go... Oh, let's do this. Go in and let's do... Okay, so you'll have the cops there. Yeah, he will vomit. Oh, he does some damage here. Oh, no scrap. Let's assume I had some scrap. Oh, some scrap. Scrap, please. Give me some scrap so I can repair it. Please. Oh, okay, that'll work. Okay, so... Okay. So they will be there. I think that's alright. I think the danger with cops always is that if they're vomiting at you, they'll be doing a lot of damage, but you could, of course, do this as well. Use your nice little grenades. Or, if you really wanted to, just stand here, pick them off with some headshots, because they are... Ooh! They are actually spawning up here, which is really interesting, up on the mountain. Okay, he died there. Oh, this is actually a really good spot. If I had... No, I don't have an AK-47. If you had an AK-47 with a nice scope, that would have helped as well. What about this one? Okay, this one works a little bit. Not too bad. I do like the Magnum, but obviously the M60, it works the best. Now, these ones are just normal reinforced concrete, so they might be taken out if there's a lot of explosions, but again, it doesn't really matter because they're really cheap to replace. And if you notice, all this damage is just explosion damage that is more cosmetic than anything else. And let's see, I can do like this. Oh, and he's going to be vomiting, and they're all going to be burning. And you can do this, and you can do this, and you can go and do your repairs. So, oh, there you can see they are definitely firing, and then I can just repair. These ones obviously will be vomiting because they see you here. It's not really meant for spend too much time there during the horde. You're meant to be standing here more often and shoot, or you could just idle out. I mean, that would work really well as well. Let me get out of God mode. That's always something people will be highlighting, saying, hey, you're in God mode, that's cheating. Of course you're not going to die. But, you know, the aim of this is to give me a really safe place to be. And if you wanted to just idle out the horde, well, you don't actually have to manually do anything because the traps will be taking care of it. They will be beating on this one a little bit. I suspect that they get stuck here. But again, you could make this steel, make the first one steel as well, and you would have less issue with things breaking. See, these ones have not taken much at all. Again, some random explosion damage. Okay, so now they are spawning over there. They will, I believe, still run the whole way. Now, if you build this slightly further out into the water, it might actually be a little bit better because then they'll always come from the front. It doesn't really matter here because I think that if they do spawn here, they will still be close enough that they'll go around. What if you have some demolishers? So, what if I put in some demolisher? Right, something like that. And can I... Okay, so let's see what he does. It's always good to see how demolishers will be treated in these bases because they are one of the toughest zombies. You notice they're not... Oh, that came another one. So I have two, that's fine. So you notice they're not bashing on the sides because they don't really mind these ones. They are trying to get here in between. They have so much hit points, and if I do this... No, okay. Ooh, potentially a cop explosion could set off a demolisher. That is probably going to be the worst damage you could see. Oh, a lot of extra loot there. The 2 demolishers just died as well, melted from the dart traps. And you could just drop that down as well, because I'm cheating because I'm here. But, you know, let's assume that we were standing over there and just throwing it in here. And then you could have just a nice barbecue while just getting in your... Can I get this one? I can. Oh! Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Don't throw grenades when you have demolishers there. But you notice it actually took it fairly well. This one has been damaged a lot. These ones are quite a lot, but since they're steel, it shouldn't make that huge difference. Even if these ones get taken out, again, it just means that they will run in faster because they won't go the long way around. So again, even that is not a huge deal. These ones would take a lot more of a beating. So I would call this a major success. There is no issue with taking care of the zombies, whether you're doing it manually or you're letting the traps kill everything. Of course, if you're dumb enough like me and trigger the demolishers, there will be more damage. Some of the cops will be exploding and doing some damage, but again, it's going to be mostly cosmetic unless you have tons of them exploding, which doesn't seem to be the case. Then it's just a matter of just a little bit of paint, a little bit of repairs, and replacing the odd block. This one probably in the front should be steel. But you notice even the Demolisher is not really making it very far in. It's such a long path actually. Look at that amount of loot. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what, 20 bags of loot or something? That was definitely more than I was expecting. And we are now at 2 AM. So what do you think of this as a base concept? Is it something that you would use? Would you use this kind of winding path with potentially slippery slopes just to minimize them bashing them? Because I think they might have done that otherwise. These ones they definitely don't want to bash. And have traps around. You do see actually interestingly... Oh, they were bashing the rock over there. They get stuck. That's alright. Now they're spawning over here as well, which is fine as well. Was it overkill with the dart traps? Is it too many? Have I layered it too deep? I think that having the space to layer it so you have a lot of them is actually the way to go. And then simply start from the front or start from the back, depending how you want to do it. And then just build your way backwards or build your way forward so that as the zombie hordes get harder, as the difficulty maybe increases, you just get more and tougher zombies that they can still handle. I do think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably half of this one is probably almost enough to take care of even a 64 concurrent horde, which is amazing. That really shows how good the dart traps are. And their morning has come. Not a problem. I think the horde has sort of almost done itself out. So let's do that. Let's kill all. Let's just get rid of all of them. So I can turn this off and let's go have a look here. Wow. Come on, let's jump. Oh, look at them. Oh, look at it. Looks like it's all just trash. Look at this. It just looks like there's just trash everywhere. Come on. This is what happens when you bring the zombies home. They'd never pick up. Look at it. Oh, look at all these loot bags. Of course, a lot of loot bags would have despawned during the night as well because they don't necessarily last the whole night. But look at this. This is still quite a lot of loot for you to pick up in the morning. And if you're 2 people or 3 people or 4 people, you'll be able to clear this a lot faster than I would be able to do here. But let's have a quick look on the damage. We see obviously there's some here that would have to be repaired. Obviously, a bunch of it is actually from the Demolisher that I set off myself, including breaking much of this. There is going to be a couple of cops that exploded, unavoidable. And but otherwise, you know, it's really gone very well. They've made it all the way to probably around here, but most of them basically just died here. I mean, they just take so much damage for this one. It does take a fair bit of dart ammunition, but as you can see, these ones in the back haven't taken much use at all. These ones obviously have, because these ones are triggered pretty much the whole time, about 1,000 per each. And this one, oh, this one ran out. Oh, so the one in the front did run out as well. I guess these are the ones that get triggered all the time because the zombies start here. And of course, a lot of repairs here in the front. But this was with 64 concurrent zombies, and it's not really meant for that one. You're unlikely to do that when you're playing single player. But look at this. I think this worked really amazing. But let me know what you think. Will you do something like this, and how would you do it? What's your twist on this? Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.